Hello, my name is Tim Sullivan. I am the CEO and President of Strategic Wealth Advisors Group. And at Strategic Wealth Advisors Group, we believe more than anything that you deserve to be loved, supported, and encouraged for greatness by someone who serves you as a leader. I've been in the business for 20 plus years, helping clients just like yourself live their best life in retirement. In our book, How to Thrive in Retirement, we talk about cultivating support, love, and encouragement, as well as significance into your retirement plan. Today, we are going to go over a brief overview of the book and talk to you about our 5-step process, our strategic wealth method, which is going to help guide you to a successful retirement. When most people talk about financial planning, they think solely about investment planning. And to us, there's much, much more involved than just investment planning. That's where most advisors fail. We believe to have a proper plan, you need to be protected in 5 distinct areas, which is income planning, investment planning, tax planning, healthcare planning, and finally, estate/legacy planning. When you are retired, you are officially unemployed. And the number one thing we need to do is build out an income plan. We have to understand what your expenses are, as well as where you're trying to get to, so we can help you get there. Income planning isn't just meeting your income needs for the month, it's also having the proper income to live the retirement of your dreams. Things to consider in regards to income are maximizing our Social Security, which we could generally show you how to increase Social Security by tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars, which means that's less money you have to take from your investments. On top of that, we have to look at our RMDs, our required minimum distributions that we're forced to take out at 73. We have to be able to control those RMDs so that they're not causing us excess taxes on Social Security or increasing our Medicare Part B premiums. Then we also have to have a spousal plan. What happens when one of us passes away? We have to make sure and ensure that our remaining spouse has enough income for the rest of their life. Also, our income has to be increasing with inflation. It has to come in predictably, like every single month, like our Social Security check comes in. And it also has to outlast both of us, both spouses. The second pillar of having a proper retirement plan is having the right investment plan. And with investment planning, we have to control what we can control. We can't control the stock market, but we can control the volatility of our portfolio. We can control fees in our portfolio. So what we want to do is make sure the amount of risk we're willing to take matches the risk in our portfolio. And if not, we have to get those two in alignment. And then from there, we want to take our assets inside our investments and really divide them up into 3 different categories. 1 for safety, 2 for assets that are going to produce income for you, and 3, a bucket for long-term growth. And if we do it the right way, the proper way, we could build a wall between that 3rd bucket. So if we have our income coming in on a monthly basis, and we have a safety net to cover us, let's say for the next 6 months, then we could use that last bucket strictly for long-term growth. And if we do it properly, we won't have to touch it for 3 to 5 years. The 3rd pillar to a successful plan is having a tax plan, one that's going to be efficient. And when we talk about can we control the tax rates, no, we can't. But can we take advantage of these tax rates that are here? Yes, we can. We could choose when we pay taxes. And if we know our tax rates are at an all-time low, we want to take advantage of that and be more efficient by doing things like Roth conversion and Roth contributions today compared to in the future where tax rates might be a lot higher. So we can do Roth conversions, Roth contributions. We could do tax loss harvesting. We could take advantage of 7702 of the U.S. tax code. And we could even be more efficient by looking at estate planning and trust planning. The idea here is to study the U.S. tax code and see where we could take advantage of And inside your portfolio, everyone is going to be a little bit different. But what our job is to look at your particular situation and see how we can be more tax efficient with your investments. The fourth pillar to a proper financial plan is to have a healthcare plan. With healthcare, all of us will have Medicare Part A. Some of us will choose to have Medicare Part B. Some of you might even have health insurance from your previous job, the job that you retired from. Maybe you were a federal worker, state worker, city worker, so you might have health insurance on top of Medicare Part A. So whether we need Part B or not, we have to evaluate your situation. And then we might have things like Medicare Part D. We might have an Advantage plan, a Medigap policy. And if we're concerned about long-term care, we want to address this situation and look at long-term care planning solutions. Maybe it's not your traditional long-term care policy. It might be a hybrid policy that's going to help you leverage your assets to cover long-term care costs in the future. The fifth and final pillar to a proper financial plan is to have an estate/legacy plan. And this one is near and dear to my heart. Losing my spouse earlier in life, I want to make sure that everyone is protected here and able to pass their assets down to their beneficiaries the easiest way possible that they can. And here, with an estate/legacy plan, what we want to do is be protected by having a will, trust, powers of attorney, living will, whatever the attorney feels is in your best interest. And then also maybe we are concerned with leaving a certain amount to our beneficiaries or leaving a legacy, a life of significance here that we could provide for our beneficiaries. We just have to figure out what you're trying to accomplish here, and then we're able to help you do that by passing the assets down from you to your beneficiaries, by saving money on taxes and being more tax efficient, and allowing those assets to be going to your beneficiaries or transferring to your beneficiaries without having to go through the probate process. If you are looking to live your best life in retirement, I encourage you to pick up a copy of our book, How to Thrive in Retirement, Cultivating Support, Encouragement, and Significance into Your Retirement. Not only for yourself, but also for one of your family members, your loved ones. Help them understand what is needed to live their best life in retirement. We're going to show you the proper framework in this book on how to live your best life in retirement, but you have to make that choice yourself. We want to have a retirement of significance. And what does significance mean to you? My name is Tim Sullivan, and this is our book, How to Thrive in Retirement, and we are here to help you live your best life.